That was President Trump just wrapping up a speech in the Rose Garden with taking some questions as well. Let's get right to Washington, D.C. Edward Lawrence has the headlines out of this freewheeling, far-ranging presser that the president and speech the president just gave. Edward.
Yeah, a little meandering, too, with this, but some of the real news are at the top. Now, before we get to this, I do want to say that Fox News has learned that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has gone to the hospital. She's been hospitalized. According to a statement from the U.S. Supreme Court, she went to the hospital last night in D.C. with chills and a fever. This morning, she was transferred to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. She had a procedure to clean out a bile duct stent that was placed last August. She is resting comfortably, according to the statement. Now, on to the news with the president. President Donald Trump has big news of the day. Started at the very beginning of this. He said that he signed on the last day into law the Hong Kong Autonomy Act. Now, that act passed Congress with bipartisan support. Now, what it does is it has mandatory sanctions on any person or entity that violates the obligation to Hong Kong under the agreement with the United Kingdom. Now, it goes farther and adds secondary sanctions on the banks that do businesses with those people that break the agreement. The president saying that he has not spoken to President Xi, also saying that China will not get away with thumbing their nose at deals they've made. Listen.
This law gives my administration powerful new tools to hold responsible the individuals and the entities involved in extinguishing Hong Kong's freedom.
And the president also signed an executive order removing the special classification for Hong Kong, their special trade status. That's because of what's happened, the actions that China has imposed on that. The president also saying that his administration is standing up to China. He's going on to comparing the last 8 years, saying that in over 8 years, I should say, President Obama dealt with China. Joe Biden was the vice president, and he compared those two. Listen to what he says about this.
So Joe Biden and President Obama freely allowed China to pillage our factories, plunder our communities, and steal our most precious secrets. And I've stopped it largely, but I've stopped it.
And after talking about those differences between he and Biden, he also talked about the coronavirus, saying that the increase in cases you're seeing is because of increased testing, and you have to look at the deaths that are happening. He's saying they're flattening off or going down in some cases. Now, he also says that they will have a vaccine for this in record speed, pointing to Operation Warp Speed, which is working on that now.